So you
So,
can just record the sessions, guys, anytime. Okay. So I'm starting, guys. So my name is Vikram. Okay. And this is my institute, VTS. Okay. And I have experience of around 14 years into ETL testing, manual and ETL testing automation. So today we are going to learn something called as ETL automation testing. And first, I will tell you the course overview. What are the contents we are going to teach here? So this includes, guys, Python, PySpark, data frame, temporary table, PyTest, comparison of data frame, DQT alerts, and then cloud-based ETL testing, big data testing, Databricks, Data Lake, Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Storage, Snowflake, and there's, guys, some of the checks using PySpark, which I will discuss in detail. So the ETL tools, guys, if you know, all of you are from manual ETL testing you would have done. Am I correct, guys?
yes, yes, I'm from ETL testing manual.
Okay. Yes, yes. Those who have, I think the rest of everyone has done ETL manual. What about Usha? Right?
We have tested reports,
Yeah, yeah. Yes. So
SSRS
ETL,
reports.
yes, yes. So ETL manual testing, the ETL tool used is generally this kind of tools like Informatica, SQL Server Integration Services, which is called as SSIS. There is a tool called as Data
Yes.
Stage. There is something called as PL procedure. SQL code written by which the data is loaded into the target from the source. In the cloud platform, guys, there's something called as AWS Glue, Azure ADF, Spark. These are the things which will be used to load the data from source to target in the cloud platform. So this is the difference between the cloud and this is the on-premises. On-premises means what? You install that software in your local machine. That is called as on-premises. But these are guys cloud-based ETL tool, which is AWS Glue and AWS ADF. We will mainly focus on ADF, which is Azure Data Factory, to load the data from source to target. Again, Spark is also used to load the data. So previously, some of the ETL automation tools were used, like your query search, but it is very costly, guys. But it is also used to compare the data from source to targets. Informatica IDQ was used to check the data from source to target. Again, it was licensed version. But Python is completely free source, and we integrate this Python and PySpark, and we validate the data. And this is what is all about ETL automation, and everyone is preferring Python and PySpark to compare the data between source and target, and how to automate this manual ETL testing concepts, which included the suppose I go to all of ETL testing, which is what the manual where we was doing the structure validation, the count validation, the data validation, the duplicate validation, the null validation, the integrity validation. So all these things, guys, we have done manually. So now how to do all these checks, using some automation, Python, PySpark, and some cloud-based tools. That is what is this course about. And in this course, guys, we will learn the file formats, which is Avro, Parquet, CSV, JSON. The difference between CSV and this Avro packaging and all is Avro and Parquet file format is, guys, big data file format. And it will not open that you will double click and that will open. That will not happen. That only happen with the CSV file format where you can see in the Excel format. And JSON is having the tags like HTML. But for Avro and Parquet, which is mainly used in big data testing, we have to use the specific formats which is present in PySpark, and then only we can see the data. If you open that, you will not be able to see the actual data. So this kind of file formats are mainly used. And why we require ETL automation testing, if I tell you. So basically what happens is that there is something called as file-to-file validation. If you know, file-to-file validation or Excel-to-Excel validation. You have heard about these things. So what we used to do is that if we have to do a file-to-file validation or Excel-to-Excel validation using manual technique, we used to create a temporary table, and then what we used to do is that load the data from this files into the temporary table. And then we used to compare, guys. And then we used to do DB to DB validation, that count minus duplicate null and all. So to do this, guys, first we have to create a temporary table, then we have to load the data, and then we have to validate, or we can use the technique called as Excel to Excel validation, Excel to Excel, or file to file validation. This kind of techniques we were doing in our ETL manual testing, so file to file validation. But for automation purpose, what will happen is that, first of all, this file formats is in Avro Parquet file format, which is not readable file format. And then we have to check the data. One is file and one is the another is the file. So what we will do is that we can read the file format using PySpark and Python. So using this Python and PySpark, what will happen is that it becomes simple. We can just read the file formats with the commands, and then we can compare them directly. And it can be any number of records, huge data. We can simply automate it. And what will happen is that after automating it, we'll get the correct results. That means correct output after the comparison. After comparison. And nowadays automation, we are using automation testing. We are using Teams and Outlooks to get the result. That means what, guys? We will get the alerts. That is called as DQT alerts. DQT means what? Data quality alerts. Okay, in Teams and in Outlook, if there is any mismatch, Outlook, we will get the DQT alerts in Teams and Outlook if there is any, guys, mismatch, okay, between the data sets. So we will use those kind of techniques, and we will use the comparison of those kind of data which are huge in size, and how we can automate this entire process, and why we require ETL automation, and how this comparison will we do. So these kind of things we will learn, guys. So if we here, there's something called as this is the first thing what we will learn, portal.azure.com. So here we will use this particular site. Okay, this is the actual Azure portal where you can use the Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Lake, and Azure Data Storage, and we'll create our database, and then we will validate the things. Some of the validations, guys, which we did in our previous batches and all. So let me just show you. Mhm. These are the validations, guys. We started, we taken a CSV file, and then we have done the validations, like creating the temp tables, and then how to create the data frames, and then how to compare the data frames count minus duplicate null and all those things. These kind of validations we have done, guys, and we have got the results in the data bricks. So this is how we will proceed, and we'll learn this entire framework and how we will do the validations. This is our overall content, guys. So now I will like you guys have any doubts about these things, then you can just let me know.
Which language we will use for the automation, Vikram?
Completely Python and PySpark. Okay, so because I told in these tools, guys, first query search was used, then Informatica IDQ, this kind of tools are used, but these are commercial, no? So for this was the free tool and free language, actually, Python and PySpark. So we will completely use Python and PySpark to validate the data between source and target using ETL automation. And we'll not use any tool, guys, query search and Informatica IDQ and all we will not use. And we will use as the cloud-based ETL tool, we will use is Azure ADF. And the language we will use Python, PySpark. And of course, SQL will be there only. And this is how we will proceed. So the answer is Python and PySpark. Tell me, any more doubts, guys, please clarify.
So we should have a prior knowledge on the Python, right?
No. First
Sorry.
thing, see, this is my course content, okay? So you don't have to know anything. So all these things, I will teach you Python, then I will teach you PySpark, okay? Then I will teach you all this thing. What is this data frame, temporary retrieval, PyTest, comparison, what is DQT alerts, what is cloud-based ETL testing, what is big data testing, what is the difference between ETL testing and big data testing, and what are the platforms used for ETL testing and big data testing. Then I will teach you what is Databricks, how to install the Databricks, how to use the Databricks. Then similarly, what is data lake, how to use the data lake, why to use the data lake. Then similarly, Azure Data Factory, why we use Azure Data Factory, how to install, how to use this Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Storage, Snowflake, all these things, guys. So from the scratch, I will start your Python, then your installation of your Python, installation of your PyCharm, and then your Python. I see for Python again, I have a separate syllabus, guys, for Python. This is the syllabus. So I have a lot of documents, guys. Let me just show you. So here, this is a Python, guys. Okay. So if I start Python, guys, so I will teach you Python complete, Python, and entire this syllabus is there for Python. First, we will learn Python, which includes the introduction, the installation, the variable, the way to run the Python code, the data type, the declaration, the operators, the range operators, keyword literals, identifier, slicing, string input, type conversion, set dictionary, conditional loop, function, cell variable, file handling, exception handling, OOPS concept. So this first I will teach you as a part of Python using the PyCharm. Once you learn this Python, then we will move to what? We'll move to PySpark. In this again, guys, in PySpark again, we will teach you so many things. So if I go to PySpark, guys, then I will go tell you what is Apache Spark, why to use Apache Spark, how to create a data frame from a list, and how to use PySpark commands, and creating a data frame from the pandas, creating a data frame from a CSV file, then what is concat function, and like that, guys, there's a lot of syllabus for PySpark. I have written everything. Suppose this is the joining of the data frames. Then there's a separate things how to use to join the data frames using the PySpark. So there are so many things for the PySpark thing we will learn. So many things we will learn for the Python. And after learning this Python and PySpark, guys, then we integrate it, and then we will go and we will do the ETL automation, guys, and how to compare this source and this target, and then how to get the results, and then how to get the results automatically in Teams or in Outlook, and then what is the way to compare, the best way to compare the source and target and get the values, and how we are using the data bricks mostly. And suppose I teach you Azure Data Factory. So if I take a topic, guys, let me just go to the introduction thing. Yeah. So if I go, guys, here, suppose I go to Azure Data Factory, okay? Suppose Azure Data Factory, then what is Azure Data Factory? And suppose it is for storing the storage of files and folders. Okay, so storage of files, then what kind of files are stored, and why we store the files, and how can we access if the files are stored in Azure Data Factory. This kind of things we will learn. So every topics I have written, guys, here in a very precise way, but everything, but when I will go to these contents, guys, it will take lot of time, guys, because one Python will take around 20 days, and PySpark, then this all these topics will go in depth. We'll install it, we will learn it, and then we will finally, the last thing is that we will do this ETL automation testing, that how we will implement this and how we will validate this. That will be the last thing, guys, using the automation testing to get the results in Outlook and Teams and all, and how we will validate that. So that will be the last thing. But initially, we will go one by one, guys. There's no shortcut here. First, we have to learn all these topics, and then only we can do the validations like your count validation using PySpark, and data validation using PySpark. Duplicate, I have already written, guys. So these are the validations, guys, what we will learn. But what will happen is that first thing what you have to learn is that, guys, first you have to learn it these basic fundamentals, Python, PySpark, and all these things, guys, and then only you can go to the for the validation part. Tell me, guys, any more doubts you have? See, guys, ask whatever questions you have so that you get a clarity how the ETL automation is done, what is the use of this ETL automation, because it becomes fast, right? You'll just give a click and then you can just see the result of the comparison of the data frame. Data frame is like table, guys. As of now, data frame is like table. You can just check the results and then you can decide that it is pass or fail. Else, what will happen every time you will have to write the count query and then you have to check. But here, once you have written and then it becomes a generic and then you can just check the data again and again. Yes or no, guys? Tell me, any doubts?
Yeah, so we have Vikram, yeah, Satish here.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, hi, Rana. So thanks. Actually, the course you designed is what we expected from the automation. So thanks
Yeah.
for that, first of all. And so regarding so these things, the validation, I think you covered everything like structural validation, count validation, data validation, duplicate null integrity.
Hmm.
So I'm just wanted to know. So are we going to develop any framework with this all these scenarios? So just to reutilize if for any kind of project or how it goes. Just my doubt actually.
Yeah. There will be a framework, okay?
Okay.
So based on the framework, we'll take a project, okay? And then what we will do is that see what I will take the framework that will be different from what some what other take. My framework will be in such a way that when you compare two data frames, you will directly get a mail in your Outlook. Are you able to understand? You will directly get a mail in your Teams. So definitely there will be a framework and we'll use the PyTest and frameworks and all. And then we will compare the data and then we will get the result. Directly in one click, we should get the results. So that is what is the aim of this particular ETL automation, guys. Because nowadays, without ETL automation testing, your CV will be incomplete. If you know only ETL manual testing, so that will not be that much useful, for entire your data engineering. Even your data engineering courses is requiring what? Python, PySpark. So same similar kind of things we are also learning. Azure platforms. So similar things we are also learning. So definitely framework will be required, and definitely ETL automation testing is required, guys. If you don't learn ETL automation testing, you only put that Informatica and SQL and all those tools, that is not going to work nowadays. If you're demanding high salary, you want a lot of growth in your career, definitely you have to go for ETL automation testing. You have to write in your CV, worked in ETL automation testing for this project, and then did the validations using Python and PySpark for the count validation, structure validation, duplicate validation, null validation. Then you have to know the codes. Then they will tell you, okay, you have done ETL automation and all. Okay, write a code. Okay, and then with the automation using Python, PySpark, compare the two sets of data, source and target. And then you should know the codes, guys. And then you have to write down the actual codes and you have to explain it that, okay, if I go to a Azure data factory, their files were stored. And the files were of the Avro file format, which was the source. And again, there was a target, which was again a Avro file format. We take in this file, we use the PySpark command. There's some commands, guys, like when I will teach you PySpark, I'll tell you there's some commands where we load those files and we can see it in a tabular formats and we can create the data frames. Data frames is like tables. Again, I will teach you guys in detail all those things. So today I don't want to go into that. But what I want to tell you the gist that first you will tell what I know Azure Data Factory where files are stored. I know the PySpark command spark.read.format.load and then the file path I am giving, then I am able to read that file, which was in Avro file format. We were not able to read the file because it was in Avro file format. So we have used the PySpark command. And then we have created a data frame. And then to use this data frame, again, we have used spark.sql. And now after doing all those things, we have created a temporary table so that we can build it. Similarly, for target, path was there, and then I used PySpark command. Then you will tell the command, and then you will tell this is the validation code I have taken between the source and the target. And then what happens? Whenever there's a mismatch, I was getting the alerts that is called as data quality alerts in the Outlook and Teams. And then what happens? Then we used to identify the defect. If you tell all those things, guys, you tell the complete difference between on-premises and cloud platform. On-premises means the software which you are installing in your machine, and cloud platform means which is in cloud, you cannot see, okay? If you tell that I know entire Azure Databricks, Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Storage, Azure Data Factory, Snowflake, and cloud platform, also I know the on-premises, I know the ETL manual, also I know the ETL automation. Then when you give an interview or in your work in a project, then your CV and your syllabus will be complete. So entire complete knowledge is required, guys. So one by one, we will learn everything, guys, and then we will proceed. Tell me, guys, any more doubts? Tell me.
Mhm. So, yeah, thanks for that actually.
Mhm.
So, can we do parameterization also in this actually? I mean, like passing source table name information,
Yeah,
target.
definitely. You can pass the source path, you can pass the target path, all those things we'll learn. And you can create a class, and then you can create an object, and then directly you can generalize all the source path, target path, and then you can just check the results. So those things, so we definitely will parameterize, and we will just check. And suppose a table list is there, we can create a list of table, and then we can put a for loop, and then we can compare the data. So generic codes we will write, definitely we will write. But for a specific code also you should know for your project what you have done. So that also you should know. And generic code also you should know. So both these codes you should know. You should be thorough with Python. And then you can just explain it very clearly the way I am explaining. The same way you should explain. See, you're telling so many things, but you're not explaining. No, then also it will not work. You have to clearly explain. This is a source path which I have parameterized, which I have written in my method. This is the target path I have written in a method. This is self variable. Now I have taken the source path. I have taken the target path. Now I'm comparing here. This is a class. I have created an object. I am calling this method and I am getting the output. So this way, if you explain, then you get a clarity, guys. So all these things I will explain you guys. So this entire course I have built up, our syllabus, what I have built up will be unique, guys, because my syllabus you can check, you will get nowhere because this is built by me. ETL manual syllabus also when I taught, I have made at my own, and ETL automation syllabus also what I made at my own. And this is my channel, guys. I don't know how many of you visited my channel. So you can see my subscriber guys here, and you can see my the list of viewers and everything. So I get so many viewers and so many from India and outside the country. So these are my videos, guys. Every lecture is taken by me, guys. Every lecture here. So now you can go to this channel and you can have a look, guys. How is this channel and how many subscribers are there? And this is my website, guys. So I have enough experience, guys, for in this particular field because entire 14 years I have done only these things. So I have a strong experience in this thing. So you can ask any questions, and this will not be a class like a lecture will be given. No, this will be a complete discussion, guys, for any of the simple code also I write. So like that, the class will go like the introduction is going on. So my sessions are very they are very in a discussion way. My syllabus and the discussion what I take is not someone will come and give a lecture. So my classes are not like that. So every topic what I will teach you, I will just ask you. If you have any doubts from anywhere in this world, you can just directly ask me, and then we will proceed like that, guys. So it will be an interesting journey. So ask me, guys, any more doubts are there? Tell me.
Yeah. Thanks, Rana. Actually, why I asked the question
Uh,
earlier is because in my previous project we had one existing Java framework, so where we prepared one source query and we passed it from the parameter. Similarly, we prepared one target query and we passed it from one parameter through configuration files. So that framework will extract the data from both those things, both the source and target, and will compare one by one. So that's why I just wanted to correlate with this. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Generic frameworks are there,
Yeah,
specific validations are there.
sure.
So how much is possible, guys? Definitely, I will cover. And for your project basis, for your interview basis, and for your knowledge basis, guys, definitely the maximum I will try to cover. And from 9 to 10 is the time I have decided, guys, because this is a huge syllabus, guys. It takes time. It's not simple topics, and within very less time I can finish. It takes me 40-50 minutes, so around 1 hour. I will take 1.5 to 2 months, and then only this course will be finished, guys. Because every lecture, every class, guys, first of all, join by laptop. Record the sessions, guys. And then after the session, go through the sessions by yourself, then only you will understand. Okay. So record the sessions, guys. I'm giving you the recording also, material also, and our notes also, whatever I will teach you guys. So keep it and learn it, and then you can implement in your project, in your interview, and in any upcoming interviews and all. Even if you change your profile, guys, for data engineering or for AI or for data scientist or anything related to data, Python is mandatory, guys. Python, SQL, PySpark. You become a data analyst. Many people from testing background, they become data analyst. Again, they also analyzing the data and doing the testing only some kind of. So you can change your profile. You can become a BA. You can become a PM. So all these profiles after certain years of experience. It's not that in the beginning only you should change the profile. But what I'm telling, after 10 years, and also suppose you want to become a data vice presidents, I have heard. Okay, so what they become is that they also know these things only, guys. By testing only, they have become data VPs. So you have to know, guys, Python and SQL and PySpark and all completely thoroughly Python and SQL. Then only you can go to that level, and then only you can go to that standard. So please attend the class and be proactive. Tell me, guys, any more doubts?
What you cover in Snowflake and big data?
The Snowflake, guys, is the actual, data warehouse in cloud platform. Suppose there's a source, guys. Okay, now source can be a, CSV file format or a Avro file format or a Parquet file format or a database. Okay, and from source, when the data goes, guys, to the something called as, I don't know, all of you know the architecture. There's something called as staging area. There's something called as data warehouse. So this is what is, guys, here the Snowflake. Okay, and then it goes to the, guys, something called as data mart, and then it goes to the something called as report. So here when I will teach you the data warehouse concepts, guys, that time I will try to cover the Snowflake, why the data are going into the Snowflake, what is the use of Snowflake, and what is the roles used in Snowflake, why a particular role is given in a Snowflake, and how a role is selected, and how we are checking the data in Snowflake. Snowflake is again a database, guys, only like Oracle, like your SQL Server, MySQL, DB2, Teradata, but it is in cloud platform. SQL is almost the same only, guys, little bit here and there, syntax is there, but it is in the cloud platform and it sync with the cloud platform. So those things I will try to cover for you for this Snowflake part. Tell me, guys, any more doubts?
Big data, data generation, data mass will cover.
Yeah, data profiling I will cover, guys, and big data, because this file formats, no, Avro and Parquet file formats and all, no. So some portion of you should have an understanding what is a big data and how the parallel processing is happening, what is map reduce, what is a semi-structured data, what is a structured data, okay, and what is a non-structured data, and why big data came into picture. Some of the big data commands, why we use it, guys. Suppose Kafka is there for incremental loop, incremental load. Okay, so why this Kafka we are using for incremental load? There is something called a scoop. What we used to for the full load we are using scoop, and for the incremental or delta load we are using Kafka. So some portion of big data testing, definitely you should know, guys, what is an external table, what is an internal table, what is the difference between them, and why we require a big data. And when we require a big data, every time we cannot use the big data commands, guys. If a small set of data, relational database will work out. a very, very huge set of data, then we'll go for the big data and how the parallel processing is happening. So big data testing is required, guys. As an ETL tester, big data testing, cloud-based testing, and ETL automation. These four skills, when you have the idea, then only you can become you have the complete coverage of the data testing. Data testing is not only, guys, data testing. It comes under data profiling. It comes under data mining. It comes under data mockup. It comes under, guys, report testing. Okay. It comes under, guys, data archival. It comes under, guys, something called as data retrieval. Okay. So all these things, topics we will learn, guys. So it is not a very small things, guys. One topic I will go, it will take time, guys. I data testing, then you will learn data profiling, then testing, data mining, data mockup, report testing, data archival, data retrieval, then the transformations are there, then how the transformations are checked. So some this kind of topics will be there in with respect to the data testing, because as soon as you become a data tester, you should have a complete idea of anything related to data. Okay. When you tell your experience, you should not tell I have experience in ETL testing and report testing and ETL automation. No. When you tell, you should tell the, see, I have experience in ETL automation, ETL manual testing, big data testing. I have worked in multiple projects like data profiling, data mining, data mockup, data archival, data retrieval, report testing. I have handled multiple projects. I have handled teams. If you have a senior, if you're a senior guy if you have, or girl having a 10 plus years experience, to tell like this, I have handled multiple teams. I have taken meetings between the offshore and onshore coordination. So 30 people were reporting to me. This kind of introduction or this kind of explanation is required. You cannot just tell that after 10 years you will tell I know ETL and manual testing and ETL automation testing. No, you are a leader now. You have to explain as a leader. Okay, you know so many things, and you know resource handling also. You know resource allocation also. You know budget handling also. You know how to deal the client also. So overall, it should look like that I'm talking to a very knowledgeable person. That way, you should give the introduction. But I'll teach you. I'll introduction and all. I'll explain you guys. So this is the overall package, guys. So tell me, guys, any more doubts? Tell me.
In test data management,
Hmm.
we cover normally data masking, data generation, right?
Hmm.
So it is useful for test data management also, right?
See,
These tools.
test data management, when you will, that is actually, creation of the files. Okay. When we were doing that TDM, no test data management, and now what happens in test data management, there's a separate file formats, guys. Okay. In TDM, there's something called as EDI files. Okay. So that will not be a part here. Okay. TDM. Okay. Because, test data management, what will happen is that if they are asking the test data management for generation of files, so that is a separate thing, guys. Because here, what happens in test data management, what we will do is that we create the data, guys. There are some file formats which is called as like EDI file formats. I don't know you have heard about that these things or not. There is something called as electronic data interchange. There's some file formats 837i, 837p. So all those things is a separate thing. But what we will tell, like, according to our test data management, we will tell we were doing the testing part, because that is data management. What I was telling, that is EDI testing, electronics data interchange. There's a separate file format, and that is a separate thing, guys. So we should not tell like that. Test data management development we were involved. You should never tell. You should tell test data management. I was in the section of the testing of the data, where I was doing the data profiling, data masking, data subsetting, data generation, data versioning. So these kind of things I have done with respect to testing. Don't never go with the development part. So you can tell, yes, I have done. You can tell this portion, data profiling and this data mining and all these things. You can just tell as a part of TDM. Tell me.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thanks for the clarification. Okay, thank you.
So I think, guys, enough I have explained. Okay. So still, guys, I am in WhatsApp. If you have any doubts, please ask me. And tomorrow 9 p.m. I will start, guys. So any more doubts, anyone, guys, before I wrap up the introduction part?
So we need peer knowledge to get into and do this.
Prior knowledge, you see, you should know the basic SQL because see, now I can't teach the SQL part, because ETL manual testing, we teach the SQL in depth. The ETL manual, I assume that guys know the basic SQL, guys. All of you know the basic SQL? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, yes.
SQL, you should know basic SQL, guys, because that is a part of ETL manual. We want to learn SQL and Informatica and ETL manual testing, then that's separate course, guys, which I teach ETL manual testing. So my request is, guys, you should know, guys, the SQL part, basic SQL part to learn ETL automation, because here directly, guys, I will be writing the queries in the Python and then I will be validating it. So the basic queries I expect that you all should know. And if you don't know, you can attend my ETL manual testing batch. That is separate. Tell me, guys, any more doubt?
So can you just come down?
Yeah, tell me.
So these are the tools which we covered in this training, the ETL tools.
Yeah. So these tools, guys, is a part of ETL manual. Let me just divide, guys. Okay. This is ETL tools, which is used for ETL tools manual for ETL testing manual. Let me write like this. This is ETL testing manual, guys. Okay. And this is what, guys, ETL testing cloud. I can say it like this, ETL testing cloud. So here what happens, guys, is that this when I teach ETL testing manual, we use these tools like Informatica, SSIS, data state, PLSQL to load data from source to target. In the ETL testing cloud, guys, am I audible, guys? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
In case, guys, my call gets disconnected, I'll join again. Okay. So don't worry about that. You all also join. So ETL, this is ETL testing cloud. Okay. So in cloud also there is something called as ETL tool, because when you tell I have experience in cloud-based ETL testing, then they will ask you, okay, then what is the tool you have used as an ETL tool with respect to cloud platform? Then you have to tell, guys, see, there are so many tools, guys. I cannot teach all the tools. What I'm going to teach you is Azure Data Factory, Azure ADF, and there is this tool called as, guys, AWS Glue also, that will also load the data from source to target. There's something called as Spark that will also load the data from source to target. But what tool I will teach is Azure Data Factory. Yes or guys? Yes or no, guys? Am I clear? What tool we will learn is Azure Data Factory. Tell me, guys. Any more doubts? Usha, are
What's
you
the
clear?
time for this?
Yeah, tell me, Manu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me.
What is the timeline? What is the timeline for this course, entire course?
See, entire course will take 2 months, guys, because it takes time, right? We learn the Python part, we learn the PySpark part, then we learn the cloud part, and then we learn the validation part, right? So if I divide into 4 sections on a high level also, guys, so it will take 2 months, guys.
Okay. And the Python, so what kind of, Python is something like a Python complete language is supposed to learn. So is a core Python is a
Yeah, core Python, complete Python. See, I have I'll share you this syllabus thing. So
okay.
here in Python, no, this is the complete syllabus, guys. Suppose what is a Python? So this is materials I'll share you, guys. This is the introduction to Python. First, we'll understand, guys, what is Python. So Python is a high level programming language, guys. So high level means it's like English, okay? Low level means 101010 is written. High level means what, guys? Like an English language, very similar to English. Print. Print means print and display. Like that is very simple language, high level programming language. That's why its name is high level. Low level means it's written in bits 1010. That is called low level. Then Python is both object oriented and procedural programming language. So object oriented means OOPS concepts are there. There is something called as polymorphism, encapsulation. All these concepts are used in Python. There's a procedural programming language. Procedural means line by line we execute the code. So both is used in Python. So this is one of the thing I'm telling. This is what introduction. Similarly, guys, if I go installation, then you have to what? We have to go, guys. You have to go to this particular site. I will show you. You will install the Python. You will install the PyCharm. Similarly, guys, here I have written everything in the syllabus. Now, what are the data types in Python? What is the declaration and data type in Python? What are the operators in Python? What is the range function in Python? And what is a slicing in Python? What is string in Python? What is input? What is type conversion in Python? What is list, tuple, set, dictionary? What is the conditional statements? What are the loops, functions, self variable, file handling, exception handling, complete OOPS concept in Python? If I go to OOPS concept, there will be encapsulation, there will be abstraction, there will be inheritance, there will be polymorphism, types of inheritance, single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance. So like that, guys, we will learn the complete Python. Similarly for PySpark, similarly for cloud, similarly for validation part. So this will take time, guys. That's why I have taken 2 months. I can't finish this within 1.5 months. It takes time, guys, to learn. Tell me, guys, any more doubts?
Vikram, I need to attend the ETL manual first before
Okay.
going to this.
No problem, no problem. You can attend the ETL manual testing courses, guys. And once you learn the ETL manual testing, then you can come to ETL automation testing, because ETL automation testing, guys, and ETL manual testing, both are different, guys. Let me just make it clarify. ETL manual is, guys, we are taking Informatica tool, loading the data from source to target, writing the SQL queries to validate the structure, DSC source, DSC target, write the count query source target, data query using minus source target, duplicate validation, null validation, integrity validation. That's a separate thing. We have to know the SCD, slowly changing dimension 1, 2, 3, initial load, incremental load. Those are manual testing, guys, ETL manual testing. Once who knows the entire ETL manual testing, they come and learn ETL automation testing. Now I can't, there I will teach 20 days, guys. 1 month I teach SQL only. Complete your group by order by having joins and then DML, DDL, TCL, analytical function, PL, SQL, some portion I take. So everything is stored procedure function, trigger. So it takes me 1 month to teach their SQL only. But now in this course, I can't teach the SQL part. That is a separate ETL manual testing. Here I will take 1 month in depth. I will jump into the Python. I'll go into the core Python, core PySpark, core cloud, how to validate, what to validate, how to write this code, how to write that code, what are the interview questions, how will you tell in your CV, how will you tell the introduction part. So here I will focus on the advanced topics. I can't go back to the ETL value. Tell me, guys, any more doubts?
Yeah, real time, everything will be real time, right?
Yeah, everything will be real time. So guys, here I finish my introduction, guys. Okay. If you have any, yeah, I have already discussed this. Any more doubts, guys? I'm always available in WhatsApp. Okay. And always there for you guys to help you. And any more doubts, guys, definitely you can ask me in WhatsApp. So that's all for today, guys. Is it fine? Chanakya, is it fine?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think I have given enough. Okay. So you can just let me know, guys, any more doubts. So I'm closing for the day, guys. Thank you, guys, for your time. Thank you.
Thank
Bye, bye, bye.
you.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks,
bye,
sir.
bye,
Bye-bye.
bye, bye.
Bye, sir.